We are here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bring news just for you. It's Friday, May 9th here in Seoul. I am Song Yujin and you're tuning into News Generation. Joining us today is Iwon-bin.
Good morning.
Good morning. And Brooke Prince.
Hello, happy Friday.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Now, both are here to speak on behalf of those in their 20s and 30s. As you know, Friday is when we dive into topics that resonate with young people around the world. Now, with May being Family Month here in Korea, today's episode is about those beloved companions who've become a part of so many families, and that is our pets. Now, whether furry, feathery, or even scaly, pets are more than just animals. They're now family. So today we're going to explore the evolving pet fam culture and the booming pet care market, specifically here in Korea. So starting off, this is quite an obvious question for you, Brooke. I think I asked you this question about 3 to 4 times on NewsGen, but do you have a pet?
Yes. Well, I have to say this is my first show back after being in the U.S. for a few weeks.
Once again, welcome back.
Thank you. I am ecstatic that this is the topic. I get to talk about one of my favorite things, my cat. You are seeing him right now. His name is Daffy. Let me take you back to 2011 when I first got him. There was an ad online that said that someone was going to leave a box of kittens on the side of the road, and my heart just broke. I immediately got in my car and drove to the location, and there were several other cars there, and every single kitten got a home that day, including this adorable little orange guy,
Young
Daffodil. Daffy for short. Now, I got him the day he was born, and if you don't know, you're not supposed to take kittens away from their mothers so soon. So as you saw in the pictures from his early years, I actually had to bottle feed him with kitten formula like a baby. So needless to say, our bond became very strong. He loves to have his paw held like that. He's always with me every night. He is just the most affectionate, wonderful animal, and he's really enriched my life. He's about to be 14 years old.
Wow.
So I've had him all through my 20s into my 30s, and it's just been an amazing experience. I would highly recommend getting a pet, especially a cat. I feel like cats get kind of a bad rep for being maybe colder
When
or
compared
less
to dogs.
affectionate compared to dogs, but I think it's really all about the bond that you form with them. So I hope this show maybe inspires someone out there to take a look at a cat.
Right.
And I'm curious, what about you? We know about that you have a wonderful pet as well. If you can share anything.
I mean, I think we talked about my dog as much as we talked about your cat because every time we were doing a pet episode. So for our viewers who do not know, I have a almost 3-year-old Pomsky called, her name is Tanbi. So she is a hybrid of a Siberian Husky and a Pomeranian, and she is really
so cute.
Yeah, she is really cute, and she is a very, very, very energetic dog. Very energetic.
Yes.
I think she's the most energetic member in my family. So both me and Brooke, we do have a pet. I am a dog owner, and Brooke is a cat owner. Now to our final guest in today's show, Won-bin, do you have a pet?
A scaly friend, perhaps.
Well,
Or a feathery one?
I can really feel the love and the energy that you guys have about this topic. I don't know how I'm going to follow with that. But yes, I did have a dog as well. Well, I used to have a dog when I was living with my family. But since I started living alone, I don't have a pet at the moment. To give a short introduction of my pet, my dog's name was Mochi. Her name is Mochi because she was a small Maltese, so she really looked like this little mochi cake when she was a baby.
Adorable.
And she was an adorable, cute, lovely, beautiful dog. Although she did bite us when things didn't go as she wanted to. So I don't own a pet at the moment, but I definitely want to have one again in the future. But not when I'm single, but maybe when I do have a family of my own. I feel like it's going to be really good for my kids. So children and the pet building a relationship will definitely help to develop the kids' social skills. And what's interesting is for you guys, according to the recent study in the UK, the happiness of people getting the happiness that people get from having a pet is similar to the happiness boost that you get from a 130 million won salary increase, which is roughly $100,000. So it really shows just how much emotional value pet can bring to people's lives nowadays.
Can you agree, Brooke?
I think that's kind of under what I would say. I think it brings me millions of dollars worth of happiness.
Oh, lovely. So we're now going to zoom in on the current pet culture here in Korea because we've been hearing this term called Petfam a lot lately. We mentioned this previously on NewsGen as well, which is a shift from seeing pets as property to embracing them as part of the family. So Wonbin, I want to ask you, do we have any stats or examples that really show how widespread this trend has become?
Yes, we do have a data. So now, according to recent stats from Korea's Ministry of Agriculture, about 28% of households now raise pets. That's the highest rate ever recorded. And based on the data, the estimated pet population in Korea is now around 15 million, which is about a third of our entire population.
Right.
And to get a deeper understanding of these numbers, let's take a look at the stats. So, again, according to a survey done by the Ministry of Agriculture in 2024 asking, do you own a pet? The answer of the ratio of yes in 2012 is 18%, and then 24% in 2018, and lastly 28% in 2024. Wow. And as you can see, there's a clear increasing trend on people with pets. And here's a mind-boggling fact for you guys. Last year, in Korea, the pet stroller sales actually surpassed regular baby stroller sales. Yes, which even caught the attention of foreign media. And it basically shows that in Korea, pets are no longer seen as animals or just properties.
Right.
They're being truly treated as a family member, and more MZs are even choosing to live with pets instead of pursuing traditional paths like getting married or having kids. So the meaning of family is definitely evolving, and from them, pets aren't just single companions. They're emotional support. They can be part of their lifestyle. And for some people like Brooke, it is literally the center of their life.
Universe,
yes, it's a compliment.
Yeah.
So the idea of family is really expanding and the pet culture is growing with it.
And which could be the reason why many people are now addressing their pets as their babies.
Oh, I've done that always. But yes, I do think that Korea's attitude towards pets is shifting.
Yeah.
A lot of it does have to do with demographics. Wonbin started talking about this, but because the birth rate is so low, I think a lot of younger people are choosing to get pets instead of opting for more traditional family structures because, let's face it, having a pet is far less expensive than having a child.
Right.
But there are still expenses associated with it, and you see that in the growing pet market. It has been really skyrocketing, and the government expects that it will reach 15 trillion won in 2027. That's about $11.5 billion, which would be almost double what it was in 2022. So a huge increase that reflects the popularity of pets here in Korea. And speaking of the expenses, we talked about this before when we did this segment. The average monthly expenditure that pet owners have to spend on their pets increased to about 142,000 won in 2024. That's around $125. This was a rise of about 16,000 won from the previous year when we did this broadcast before. Now, in my case, I have an older pet, and so he has to go to the vet a lot more often. He also has specialized medical grade food that he needs. So I think I would probably be more around 200, 250 if I averaged it all out. But he's worth it. And that's the attitude that a lot of Koreans are adopting these days. They're worth it. They are worth any expense, any amount of money. I will spend it to get them the most premium pet products. That's the trend that we're seeing in Korea lately. And especially it's kind of similar to the kids industry. So even if people are not having as many kids, they kind of have now substituted pets as their children and spoil them as such. So what we're seeing is that the higher the income of the family, the more is spent on their pets. And this is exactly what happens when people do have real children, is that the higher the income, the more they spend. And so they are willing to really put in the finances if they want to spoil their pet. And I think it's amazing. I do what I can to spoil my pet when I can with the best products that I can possibly get for him.
And expanding on what Brooke just mentioned, with more people treating pets like their family or even their children, we're seeing the rise of what's being called the luxury pet market. So Wonbin, what could be some standout examples?
Yes, so, excuse me. As more people treat pets like family, the luxury pet market is definitely growing. The Korea Tourism Organization even listed pet-friendly travel as one of the top tourism trends to watch in 2025. And let me give you some background and examples on the growing luxury pet service industry before Brooke gives further explanation and examples about it. Now, according to data from 2024, about 60% of pet owners in Korea travel domestically with their pets, and that number is only projected to go up. And we're now seeing more pet-friendly hotels offering special services like dedicated pet beds, premium pet food products, and even skincare consultation for dogs. Yes, there are also programs designed to help pets feel more comfortable and relaxed during their stay. And what's really interesting is that the rise of pet tours is a part of the Korean wave as well. We can see a lot of international visitors coming to Korea with their pets to experience this unique pet-friendly services and hotels here in Korea.
And before, it was sort of hard, difficult here in Korea to travel with your pet, but we're now seeing pet-friendly hotels, what we mentioned, beds, dedicated food, and even
clinics.
Skincare, which really shows a big change in the pet culture here in Korea. And Brooke, I think that you have another mind-boggling example that really shows how much pet owners are willing to invest when it comes to offering the best service to their furry companions.
Yes, and I do want to just mention, when I came here in 2016, it was quite difficult to bring a cat into Korea. So it makes me really happy to hear that it's become kind of a part of Hallyu, the Korean wave, that more foreigners are able to bring their pets here to experience Korea, because apparently pets here have it pretty good. They can be treated like VIPs. You can go to this place called Coco Square, where you can throw a birthday party for your pet, including these lavish flowers, gourmet treats, and services like pet spas, stress relief programs, and even one-on-one aqua fitness sessions.
I've never
I kind of want to just
received that service before.
So this is the country's first government-approved pet-friendly restaurant. And what's really making headlines about this place is that the membership cost is...
How much is it?
More than you would expect. So it can range anywhere from 1 million won to 100 million won.
100 million?
To put that into perspective, that's about $72,000. So
that's a whole salary right there.
That's right.
Even more than most people's annual income.
And you would think, oh my gosh, that's a huge price tag, but there are already 10,000 subscribers to this service, so it's doing quite well. And that's not all. Another trend I want to highlight is omakase dining for your dogs. So there's this place called Puppy Lounge in Cheongdam, and your pups can enjoy a multi-course meal featuring gourmet dishes like kangaroo meat and blueberry.
Kangaroo meat.
And it all happens in these private designer decorated rooms. And you can even go further than that. You can actually rent out luxury designer outfits for your pet. And that can cost millions of won.
How far can this culture go?
They love it. So if you want the ultimate fine dining experience for your pet, look no further than Korea. These are some of the amazing changes that are being made that reflect the shift in societal attitude towards pets. They're now pampered family members.
Yeah, I kind of feel jealous. Okay, so for more on today's topic, after a short break, we'll hear from someone who is part of the pet fam here in Korea. We'll be right back.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search our channel Arirang News. Click Community and leave a comment down below. Make a new type of news with us.
Welcome back. Today we're joined by Korean Gen Z, Kim Sonu. Welcome to the show, Sonu.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, and good morning to your lovely pet.
Thank you for having me here.
Well, thank you both for joining us. So, Sonu, this may be kind of like an obvious question, but first, tell us about your lovely pet or pets, and why did you decide to bring him or her into your life?
So his name is Wari, and obviously he's a dog. Yeah, so he's a little old man. He is a 30-year-old white Spitz mix. So first time we brought him home when he was about 3 months old. At first, we were going to pick a spotty puppy we saw in photo, but when my mom visited in person, she picked Wadi instead because he looks so energetic and healthy and so lovely. So since his fur was all white, we called him Tufu at first, but later we renamed him Wadi using Chinese characters that mean sword and rule. So in Korea, it's common to give people names using Chinese characters that carry meaning. So we did the same for our dog, hoping he would grow up to protect peace in our home. And honestly, he has. He's been our calm and steady and lovely companion ever since.
Oh, thank you
so
for the
lovely.
lovely introduction. I love the name as well, Wadi. And taking care of a pet can be a big commitment. And how much do you sacrifice and emotionally and financially? And why do you think it's that much worth it?
I think this is not kind of sacrifice, but I think this is our job to do because he's one of my family. So I walk Wadi every day. It keeps his body active and his mind happy too. And we also live a lower floor, so he can look out the window and watch the world go by. So he loves the nature and the birds, except cats. So Wari has kidney disease, so I always have to be careful about his diet. He cannot have too much protein or sweetie things. So he really loves meat, but instead I give him healthy fruits and kidney-friendly food. I just want him to stay with me as long as possible
Oh.
and happy and comfortable. So honestly, my dream is to send him to college, which means I want him to live until 20.
Oh, well, even though our pets probably wouldn't get along, I have so enjoyed hearing you talking about your pet. Very heartwarming. My last question for you is, as more people welcome pets into their homes, what do you think our society can do to ensure pets are treated with care and respect?
I think first we need to stop seeing animals as just cute things or personal property. They have feeling just like we do. So that's why I think animal care and empathy should be taught from a young age. So also we need stronger animal protection laws and better medical support and more public spaces where animals are truly welcome. If we treat them as emotional companions, not objects, I believe our society will become much more human and warm. Thank you.
Very great points. All right, Sonu, thank you so much for your time today. And thank you so much to Wadi as well. Have a lovely weekend.
Thank
Thank you. Have a lovely day.
Thank you. So throughout our show today, we've been saying a lot that the pet culture has definitely evolved greatly here in Korea, because in the past it was really hard to find cafes or restaurants or any public places where you were allowed with your pet. But now I think that Korea is becoming more pet friendlier. What do you think?
Yes, you're absolutely right. So like Sonu mentioned, it was very difficult for us to find public spaces, but we're definitely seeing more public spaces becoming pet friendly in 2025. Local governments have been stepping up by creating parks and themed areas where people can spend time with their pets more freely. And back in 2012, Korea had only a few of these spaces, but by 2023, that number had grown to more than 100 pet-friendly public areas across the country. Even riverside zones, which used to ban pets completely, are now becoming more open for access. And honestly, I think this is a great direction. As more people treat pets as part of their family, it makes sense for our public spaces to reflect that change. And it not only gives pet owners more freedom, but also helps build a more open and inclusive everyday environment for both animals and people.
Absolutely. And can you also feel this change, Brooke, Daffy's mom?
Yes, and I just have to say this show is making me so happy. Seeing
Yeah,
all
just
these
looking at all the footage,
videos
right?
and our guest with her pet as well. I don't know how you could look at these adorable creatures and not just completely love them. And I think we are seeing that shift in Korea, which is wonderful. And because of the shift in attitude, we're also seeing more options for traveling with your pets and for secure during accommodations with your pets. One example that I want to give that really touched me was that during the Lunar New Year holiday, when families are leaving their homes, you never want to leave your pet behind when you go on a trip. It always hurts. So this company, Pets Go, actually introduced a pet-friendly bus that went between Seoul and Busan. And they had these dedicated pet seats so that your pet does not have to use a carrier, which as a pet owner, I know my cat hates the carrier. It is his least favorite thing. So that's great that pets have a dedicated space that they can use, and families could actually incorporate their pets into their holiday plans. Also, speaking of travel, I want to talk about hotels. Some of them still have a lot of, pet restrictions, but there are places in Seoul and Jeju where they offer exclusive petcation packages with skincare programs and meals, etc. There are also tourist destinations like Nami Island that have loosened up their pet policies, so larger dogs can play there. There are more play areas. And also public transportation in Seoul has become more pet friendly as well. So I think all of these changes really indicate a shift in Korea's mindset. They are trying to extend the comforts that humans have to pets as well.
Road to getting pet friendlier. Okay, so before we move on to our final question of the day, to see how strongly our viewers feel about their pets, we asked this kind of bold question on our Arirang YouTube channel, which was, if your pet and a stranger both fell into water, who would you save first? It was a very tricky question, but 49% chose their pet, while 37% chose a stranger, and 14% answered they're not sure. And here are also 3 comments we received. 팍@Emmanuel85 says, my kitties are family and they have always taken care of me. I couldn't trust some people more. DS92KO says, even if it's a stranger, I'd feel morally obligated to save them first. JaxParPaING3217, the results are very frightening. I hope that in a real life situation, it won't be like this. Well, best that this sort of situation does not happen at all in real life. Okay, so ending off, of course, not everyone has or wants a pet here in Korea or in other parts of the world. And as a society, we have to always find ways for pet owners and non-pet owners to live together respectively. So what do you think are some practical steps?
I think one important step is to keep, to keep pets on a leash in public spaces. So some owners think their dog is friendly or, oh, my dog is nice.
It doesn't bite.
Yeah, so it doesn't bite, so other people shouldn't be scared or be afraid. But not everyone is comfortable around being animals, and that has to be respected as well. And it's not just about safety. I think it's a little bit more about basic social awareness. Walking your dog off leash might feel normal or comfortable to you, but someone else, especially kids, elderly people, or those with trauma, it can feel overwhelming or even a little bit dangerous. So I think pet owners really need to understand that leashing isn't a rule against pets. It's a rule that makes space for everyone. It might seem like a small action, but it creates a more respectful environment where both pet lovers and non-pet owners can coexist peacefully.
So following the basic etiquette is always important. What do you suggest, Brooke?
Well, very briefly, I'll just say I've lived here for almost 10 years. I've moved several times, and every time it has been kind of a nightmare to find pet-friendly housing.
Right.
So I would just hope that in the future, Korea might offer more options on housing apps for pet-friendly filters, and also just more places that are welcoming of pets. I understand their concerns. It's always a risk to rent property to someone with an animal, but that's their family, and so we all need a place to live, and I hope that that is something that can change more in the future.
I'm sure that we'll be able to find ways that both pet owners and non-pet owners could coexist peacefully. And that's all we have for today in this week's News Generation, but we will be back next Monday at 10:30 a.m. Korean time. Special thanks to Lee Won-bin.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, and Brooke Prince.
Thank you, a great time.
Thank you, and to our viewers, thank you for joining us throughout this week, and hope we see you next week as well. We are News Generation.